Good morning, everyone. This is Facts
And Flannels, just two men friend.
Morning, everyone. This is Facts
And Flannels, just two man friends wearing flannels.
and talking about weird and wild facts. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Doug. Let's get going.
So one of the things I'll talk about, and you know me, of course, my first thing is always, it's going to go straight to something about nature, right? So,
of course.
Okay, we've all heard about gypsy moths and gypsy moth caterpillars and you know how destructive they are to our deciduous trees. Um, they're just an interesting little creature, and there was one thing in particular, and I'll get there, that I had never heard of, and I was just doing some research because I had thought I knew everything about gypsy moths. Well, to start off, for them just being the weirdest creatures on the planet, the females don't fly. Females are so large, their bodies are so large. They're kind of like bumblebees, but bumblebees like defy physics and can actually fly.
Yeah, that's its own. Yeah, I know exactly what you're doing.
Bumblebees are just an oddity. But anyway, gypsy moths, their bodies are way too big. They just have too much mass compared to their wing size. So they don't fly. You know, when they crawl along the forest floor and the males come to them. The males are small, like grayish brown moths, whatever. And then they mate, and male flies away. Now the female, when it's time for her to lay her eggs, she'll crawl up a tree. And I'm sure you've seen the egg casings on the trees. They're like orange. They're like maybe an inch long, inch and a half long.
They creep me out.
Things. Well, what happens is that the female, she lays the eggs on the tree, and then her body physically starts to deteriorate and turn into that orange mass that protects the eggs. Her body goes through a physical process and turns into the egg mass. However, I have heard from multiple sources that those orange egg casings that you kind of just like dust off, they turn into just like little fuzzy dust or whatever you want to call it. Apparently they taste like Fruit Loops. I personally never tried it. I kind of want to, but apparently they taste like Fruit Loops. I'm gonna try it if I find one today, because we're getting close to hunting season. I'm gonna take an eye out for. I'm gonna look for them. Anyway,
this will conclude our first and last episode of Facts and Flannels, as Ryan is
Anyway, so I mean, you know a fair deal about gypsy moths, right? So you know there's two ways there's two different things that affect gypsy moth caterpillars that make them die. Are you aware of this?
I know kind of what.
I forget the name of the virus, but there's a virus that kills them, and then there's a fungus that kills them.
I was gonna say I couldn't remember the virus. I knew there was a virus, but I can never remember. I'm not medical.
Yeah, no, it's a big word. I'm not even gonna try to say it. But there's a virus and there's a fungus, and there's a very easy way to determine whether a caterpillar has died of either the fungus or the virus. Now, when they hatch from their egg sac, they climb up to the top of the trees, they go out onto the leaves, they start munching on the leaves. I mean, I've walked trails where it's like a high bloom gypsy moth year, and you could hear all of them eating. I mean, it's crazy. When there's a large amount of gypsy moth caterpillars, you could literally hear them munching on the leaves. But when they get large, I mean, they're pretty large caterpillars. You know, they could be like 2-3 inches long. So if you're walking in the woods and you look on the trees, and I've seen where the whole tree is just littered with dead caterpillars. Look at them, and if they're just vertical, hanging on the tree, just vertical like that, usually just kind of stuck to the tree. That's the fungus. The fungus has killed them, and you might even see some like little spores and things sticking out of them, but the fungus has killed them if they're just straight vertical lines. The virus, they'll die in a upside down V. So their body kind of when they die, their body sticks for whatever reason. I don't understand why. In the middle, bend, and then the two ends just kind of like fall down, and they're the shape of a V, but they're stuck up against the tree. Makes absolutely no sense. I don't understand how it happens or why it happens, but it does. And they're insects, so they're not like millipedes or centipedes where they have legs that go along the whole length of their body. They've got like, however, they got 2 in the front and they got 4 in the back, I think is usually how caterpillars work.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's so weird.
Yeah, very, very bizarre things. Now, that's not the weirdest thing.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Okay. The weirdest thing is that it has been recorded, and this is, if I could find the article again, it has been said that a gypsy moth caterpillar, and I didn't know that they can fly before they turn into moths. The caterpillar can fly before they turn into moths. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen like a Planet Earth or Life, the docuseries Life.
Anonymous David Attenborough narrated nature documentary that's on.
Or Oprah, whichever one, yeah. They did a thing where it was like in the jungle, and they, like a spider climbs up the trees, goes all the way to the top of the canopy and shoots out a bunch of webbing, and the wind takes them away, and that's how they kind of travel, these spiders, which apparently a lot of spiders do that. Supposedly, gypsy moth caterpillars can do the same. Caterpillars have silk, type of webbing that comes out of their ass. Not really, but the back end.
Yeah.
And so they could climb, and they can release some webbing. And it has been recorded that a gypsy moth caterpillar was in the air 2,000 feet. 2,000 feet up in the air, a gypsy moth caterpillar. Now, hold on, because I could say like, oh, I guarantee you there's a gypsy moth caterpillar 2,000 feet in the air above my house right now. Like, no, that would have absolutely no meaning. Who the hell was 2,000 feet up in the air and was like, oh shit, that's a gypsy moth caterpillar?
Yeah, that's
like,
really
what
high.
were you doing? Were you in a hot air balloon? What were you doing 2,000 feet in the air that you were able to see a gypsy moth caterpillar being taken away by the wind?
Yeah. What? 2,000 feet is not like,
that's
not
not
a ladder and like a.
Right, it didn't jump off the top of a mountain. And it said in air. It was 2,000 feet in air. Not like its elevation was 2,000 feet. It had been found 2,000 feet up in the mountains, because that would mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that's found its way up there.
It was in the air. 2,000 feet. I just like, was a guy flying a solo airplane and one hit his windshield? Like, I don't understand.
How?
And how did you identify it?
Yeah.
What were you like? The only thing that I could think of is that you were in a hot air balloon. I don't even know if hot air balloons can go 2,000 feet in the air.
And like, who's looking at? Yeah, you have to be like a specific person to be like 2,000 feet in the air and be like, oh, hey, look, this thing. It's a gypsy moth caterpillar.
Right.
Like, I don't think I could casually just identify a gypsy moth caterpillar if I was just like, if I wasn't like in an area where there's a lot of gypsy moth caterpillars.
What are the odds that a person that was 2,000 feet up in the air doing God knows what was able to identify a gypsy moth caterpillar flying by? Like,
it's like skydiving down and like, oh, this is awesome, and all of a sudden just splat right in the face. Moth caterpillar.
Like, what? Yeah. So
it's freaking weird.
That is very weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so we're done here for today. That'll be a good starting point. I hope people watch our videos. If you do, we are Facts and Flannels. Just
if you've got anything that we said wrong, please do comment, because I do.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of information everywhere, and you can try to do research on the source of your information, but you just never know what you read. So we're just telling you the things that we've done research on, and some cool facts, some weird and wild stuff. If you're
as it becomes fall, we'll be wearing more flannels.
Yeah, and if you're an expert in any of these topics, please give us more information. We would love to hear them.
Yeah, we would. thank you, everybody, and we really appreciate everything.
See you next time, Doug.
See you next time, Ryan.
Bye.